Okay, hello. Welcome to Knowing the Holy Bible for Yourself. Okay, we're going to make sure that you know that Holy Bible and you know it for yourself. You know all of the chapters and the verses, the scriptures and the stories, and you know them for yourself. Okay? I'm your teacher, your host, and your correctionist, Wayne Thomas. And today, I'm simply going to call this video, Ask Your Pastor. Okay. If you ever want to really know how much your pastor or teacher or Bible person, whoever is in charge of your worship service or the spiritual well-being of your spiritual world in regards to the Bible and teaching the Bible and all that in your church or your facility or wherever, if you want to know just how much of the Bible they know, here's a quick little test that you could put before them to find out just how much they know, how much of the Bible they know. Okay? I do this every now and then if I need to check a pastor or check somebody and they're trying to impress me with how much they know with the Bible, this, that, and the other. Okay, I have my little methods, but this is a method. This is a baby method. This is a little baby question, baby method. Now, here's what I want you to do. You will get in your cell phone or whatever and type in the names of the 12 tribes of Israel. The names of the 12 tribes of Israel. And they'll come up. There they go. All right. At some point, you go up to your pastor or your minister, preacher, teacher, whoever, and you want to catch him off guard. You want to catch him off guard. Okay? Pastor, can you name the 12 tribes of Israel? Okay? And be careful, because what he might do right away is try to grab his phone and type it in to see the names. Okay? But he should know the names, and he should know the names just inside of him, because if he's been teaching the Bible correctly, then he'll know those names, hands down. And some pastor, like you might say, Pastor, can you just name the 12 tribes of Israel? And if they say like, oh, I'm not into that right now. I don't, well, 12 tribes of Israel, that's Old Testament. We're doing things in the New Testament, and he tried to hurry up and get you away from, away from the question. That means that he doesn't really know his Bible as well as you might think that he does. He doesn't really know his Bible well enough. You know what I mean? He's the head, he's the leader, he's the pastor, whatever. But he doesn't really know his Bible well. Okay? And that's an escape route. Okay? Be careful of that. No matter how aggressive or how strong he come at you, that's what's really going on here. Okay? Because he should know it. He should know those names, because those names are the names that are basically the setup, or the names are so crucial to everybody else in the Bible. Okay? Let me give you an example. If you, like, for example, the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, I'll say them real quick, but I won't put them in. I don't know if I'm gonna put them in order or not, but here they are. It should be Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Gad, Dan, Asher, Naphtali. I don't know if I said Reuben or not. Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, and Benjamin. Okay, now out of those names are laced all through the Bible. They're all through the Bible. For example, like Levi. I said Levi was one of the names. That's where Moses comes from. I said Judah. Whoa, that's where David comes from, and that's the lineage that our Father brought his son Yeshua Jesus into the world. Okay? Yeah. So that's why they should know these names. Okay? All right. and very key and very important. Yeah, you know what I mean. But again, it's a baby question. Okay, everybody should know these. All the pastors and people who are teaching the Bible, they should know these names. So you got to be careful of people. Your pastor, your minister, rabbi, reverend, whoever. They're the leader of the church or of the congregation or the religious entity, but they don't know the Bible. They're not really versed in the Bible, and you'll be surprised of how many leaders, pastors, reverends, rabbis, ministers, so forth, they don't know the Bible. They don't know the Bible. I say this because your spiritual welfare is based on what these guys know, what these people know. If they don't know the Bible correctly, they're not going to be teaching you things in church on Sunday. They're going to be talking about things going on outside and all these weird things and strange things and different things. You know what I mean? Instead of teaching you what they're supposed to be teaching you. The things that are in the Bible and the stories that are pertaining to your life and your death. Okay? So, again, if they come with those stories, or again, they might come with that, well, I don't know that, that's, that's something that we're doing that, we're not in that right now. We're over here. That's them trying to make an escape. Okay? All right. Just want to make sure that you knew. And again, you get your little names in your cell phone, and you come up on him. Pastor, let me ask you something. Who are the 12 tribes of Israel? What are their names? You know what I mean? And again, make sure he doesn't get a cell phone and try to hurry up and get the names. Get your little list ready, and let him start telling you. And if he comes, he might say, well, I'm not sure. Or if he takes that escape route, well, that's Old Testament. We don't need to know about that. Then that means he's trying to escape. He really doesn't know the names. On this note, I was a school teacher. I was a school teacher for 7 years in Catholic school. It was a Catholic school, but it was a very like in a poor neighborhood. You know what I mean? 99% black kids and stuff. We only had one white girl in the whole school, Andrea. And she was in my class. I was third grade teacher. Third grade. That's 8 years old. Okay? And I say that for a reason. And let me explain. We had the most toughest Bible class in the world. Probably in the world. For children that young. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nobody would challenge us. Nobody would challenge us. We were tough. My students were tough in the Bible. And they were only 8 years old. Case in point, Catholic school, Father John, the priest, the main priest, one day he came walking onto the yard. I was up in my classroom doing stuff, whatever, and I heard all this screaming and noise going on. So I went over to the window to find out what was going on. Father John had came onto the yard. Now the students, the little children, they usually see him like in the Catholic school, the Catholic church situation is very formal and, real, serious and everything. And they're just sitting there watching and stuff. The big ceremony, But anyway, one of those days he was just coming into the school building because the church was connected to the school. And he was coming over into the school. So he passed through the yard. And the younger students, like kindergarten, first grade, second grader, they're all, Father John, and they're all around him and stuff. And I heard all the screaming and stuff, and yelling and stuff. So I went over to the window to find out what's going on. And there he was laughing with him. Here he comes with his sandals on, and he's laughing with him. So they're all just excited and stuff. Where my students, my students were pinning to the wall, pinning to the fence that you came into. Father John, did you know? Father John, did you know that you're not supposed to call a man father? He said, well, where'd you hear that? They were like, it's in the Bible. Jesus said it. Oh my gosh. Another student's like, Father John, do you know the 12 tribes of Israel? And he's like, well, let's see. I know there's Judah, because there's David and Jesus' lineage. And I know there's Levi, and that's Moses, of course. And they're like, Dan, Gad, Asher, Benjamin, Naphtali, Joseph. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh man, but I was proud of them though. I was so proud of them. And they would get him every time. They would get him every time. They would ask him questions and do things that they're like, it's like, who are you? So see, I was supposed to be teaching them the Catholic Eucharist. But them and the students and myself, we were like, man, we're not into that. We want to know the Holy Bible. And my principal, so wonderful, my best boss I'd ever had in my life so far. She was like, Wayne, if you could teach that Bible to these children, teach it. And my students, if word was out that Mr. Thomas is going to be teaching the Bible, and everybody wanted to know. And a lot of times, a lot of the old, and like, because they were third grade young children, the older students had a whole different recess, lunch recess and all that stuff. So they would be doing their thing while we're in class doing what we're supposed to be doing. Half the time, the older students, 7th and 8th graders, they would be hanging out in my class because they wanted to hear that Bible. Okay? So, again, I'm telling you that story really because Father John's reaction. You know the 12 tribes of it? Well, let's see. And he was so stumped. He was so stumped in trying to get those names together in his mind. Okay. That's that. So know the importance of your spiritual being and your spiritual future, because whoever's teaching in that Bible, they should know. Who's ever teaching or whoever's in the lead or whatever, they should be teaching you from the Bible and teaching it to you correctly. Because 9 chances out of 10, if they don't know the Bible, they'll do what a lot of pastors and preachers and all them, what they do. And that is, they're up there in the pulpit on Sunday or whatever, and they're talking about all kinds of weird stuff. They're talking about world stuff or some kind of philosophies or whatever, different things. They may not even have, they'll usually use the Bible to make a point or whatever. But it's important, your spiritual welfare is involved. Your spiritual welfare being is involved here. And it's important that they teach you little things. I used on another video, I was talking about, things that you have to watch out for and the importance of a certain thing. And this is the key example for this. The importance of the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. That's so important, okay? Because like I said, when it comes to that horror coming, you want to be strong, okay? So that's all I'm saying. So again, ask your pastor. Ask your pastor about, certain things and hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. You know what I mean? Because if it was something in the world with TV shows, movies, money, images, whatever, internet, whatever, people tend to know that stuff. But nobody knows the Bible. And that's the most important thing to know. Okay? So just remember, ask your pastor. Okay? All right. Take care. Leave your comments below.